Now folks, Robbie here. Welcome back to the channel, back on Forza Horizon 6 for another test and review video. Today we're going to check out a classic JDM sports car from the late 90s. This is the Toyota Altezza RS200 Z Edition. Now personally, I've always known this car as the Lexus IS200, but whatever you want to call it, it is awesome to see this model in game. They've done a pretty good job detailing it as well. This car was brought in via the festival playlist, so you can get it today for 20 points. Easy enough, a couple of events, and it's all yours. I've always loved this styling of this car. Instantly seeing it on screen is sending me flashbacks to when I was a teenager, playing and driving this car on Gran Turismo back on my old PlayStation. Good times. Now obviously it's a very distinctive car. Anyone in the JDM fans will know this thing, especially the taillights in the back end. Incredibly popular late 90s, early 2000s. The Altezza lights as they're known. Even down here in Australia, the aftermarket, you can get so many taillights for your Holden Commodore that looked very much like that. In the car scene, tuning scene, incredibly popular. Drifting, this thing was pretty much of an icon for a car. It is nice and compact, it's agile, it's got a near perfect weight distribution, so I'll be definitely building this up in game to like a touring car. There's a bunch of body kit options, which is also nice. Now the Z Edition is a bit more of a premium sporty feel compared to the standard car, and I've got to say, for something that's as old as it is, nearly 30 years, she's aged pretty good. I so miss this era of car styling. Now powering the RS200 is this 2-litre inline 4-cylinder engine, naturally aspirated, putting out a respectable 208 horsepower, 216 torque. It's a fairly high revving engine, so it's good fun. Pick a slower track, it is really good fun to drive around. Rear wheel drive, so you get a good balance. Power sent to the rear wheels for a 6-speed manual gearbox. Does its job, but could use some adjustments to circuit racing, shrink the gears down a little bit. The Altezza weighs about 1,360 kilograms, so it's not super lightweight, but it's light enough that it's agile with the perfect weight balance. It's got pretty good suspension as well, so it's a fun, agile car to drive. So good with these cars back in 1999. The Altezza won Japan Car of the Year. Not exactly this model, I'm sure, just might have been the base one, but that's a pretty good effort, especially when you consider how many amazing cars Japan was making in the late 90s, early 2000s. So we're going to put the Altezza through the tests. Got a bunch of little tests we're going to do on road to see what it's like to drive. Let's get started. All right, first test is a brake test. 150 kilometers an hour down to 0. Hit the brakes hard. Shifting down through the gears. We stop eventually 63 meters, which isn't great compared to the rest of the field, but she's a little bit older and technology has advanced. So we're going to do a drag run now down the 1 kilometer stretch at the festival site. Off the line rear wheel drive. Not a bad launch. 6.8 seconds, 100 k's an hour, 0 to 100. And 61 is 17.6. Quarter mile is 15.2. She's not the fastest car, but only 208 horsepower. What do you expect? Overall, it's not that bad. She pulls down here. We finally get to the end. This thing could definitely use some upgrades to be competitive, but it is awesome to see. We finally crossed the line. It's a little bit slower than what I've been driving recently. Down here, 27.7. A little bit ways off. 10 seconds slower than the GTR I drove the other day. Now finding along a bit of road, the Altezza will finally get to 249 kilometers an hour. It takes a very long time to get there, but it's not a bad top speed for the car's age and power. So I brought it here to my test track to see what it's like to actually drive around some corners. I gave it 10 flying laps around here, and overall it gets it's okay rating. Now, obviously, we can upgrade the cars. Tuners are going to make this thing an absolute weapon, I'm sure. Drifters are going to have a ball. But to drive the stock standard thing around here, like I said, 10 laps around here, it's okay. Now, the suspension in this car is pretty good. There's not much body roll. It does corner nicely. The back end doesn't slide around too much. 208 horsepower is not a lot. Rear wheel drive, you can easily maintain the back end. It doesn't slide. A little bit of throttle control. Overall, like I said, going through the S's here, it shifts its weight pretty good. It stays pretty flat and even. It's got really good base suspension on it. Probably the biggest fault with this car is the gearbox. The standard ratios are really far apart. It is naturally a high revving engine, but some of these corners, obviously my track's a little bit more complicated than the standard road courses and circuits you get on the map in Japan here, but yeah, you drop down a lot, because there's a lot of these corners where you're down to first and second gear. You do kind of drop out of the power band. As you see through the slalom, might have clipped the wall there, but overall it stays pretty flat and level in this car. Again, I can't wait to tune this into, I'm going to tune it into like a touring car, kind of build it up to some of the cars I used to race back on Gran Turismo 2. That was one of my favorite cars back then. It looks great. They've done a really good job capturing it. The sound's not too bad. And like I said before, there's a bunch of body kit options to put on the car to customize it. I'll wait a couple of days for the painters to do their magic and give us some cool liveries, but overall, there's not much to say about this to drive. It is pretty basic. I don't want to sound too harsh on it. It's all right to drive, but it's an old sedan with 200 horsepower. You're not going to set the world on fire. It needs some upgrades to be a little bit more fun. Now, if there was no way we couldn't do any upgrades to this car, I probably wouldn't drive it again, but once hit the garage and put some parts on, it's going to be pretty good. Upgrade your brakes and suspension straight away. That'd be the first ones I do. But apart from that, it is awesome to see this car in the game. It is an absolute classic of 90s Japan when they made the best cars. But around here, the best I could do is a 219.6, which is a long way off the field. Quite a few seconds behind the GR Super, but it's an old car. You got to expect it. Once we start doing a few more cars from that era, we'll find out exactly what it's like compared to its contemporaries, because obviously they're a little bit more advanced, and the Nissan's slightly unfair being a full-on blown race car, but it is awesome to see the Altezza RS200 in the game. Hope you enjoy. Get it on the playlist. 20 points, super easy to get. You won't regret it. It is a pretty cool car, and I can't wait to start upgrading and tuning it and taking it racing. I'm Rob. Cheers for watching. See you tomorrow.